Hello everyone, my name is Sanika. Today me and my team members are here to present a project on emotional recognition using EEG signals. Our mentor is Divya Acharya ma'am. My team members are Rahul, Riddhi, Siddhi and Siva. Introduction. In this project we are trying to resolve the problem of emotion recognition with EEG signals. Then what is EEG? EEG is a type of test, electroencephalogram test. This can be done to record the activity of the brain and the result is generated in form of waves or signals. These waves can be classified with the help of BCI. BCI has higher accuracy and gives desirable result for the EEG signals. EEG signals can be considered reliable for high amount of data and it cannot be fake like facial recognition, so it is even more reliable than facial recognition or voice recognition. Due to high availability of EEG dataset and advancement in machine learning field, it has led to deployment of various deep learning architecture. Some work has already been done on the deep learning architecture using KNN, PSA, RF, ANN, etc. In our project, we are using LSTM and CNN network classifying models for deployment of our project. Now, I'd like Riddhi to continue. Over to you, Riddhi.
Hello everyone, I am Riddhi Jain and I would like to give you a brief description about the dataset we have used. We have used the deep dataset for emotion analysis. The dataset was collected in two parts. First, the online self-assessment part where 22 volunteers voted 120 YouTube music videos based on arousal, balance, dominance, familiarity and likeness. The second part consists of participant ratings, physiological recordings of 32 volunteers and frontal face videos of 22 volunteers. Out of 120 YouTube videos, 40 were shown to each participant. Each 512 Hz signal was converted to 128 Hz EEG signal after removing the artifacts like eye movement, muscle movements, etc., downsampling and filtering. They were presented in MATLAB.mat format and Python.dat format. There were two NumPy arrays, data and labels. Data had the shape of 14 to 14 to 8064, where 8064 EEG's data from 40 channel for 40 videos were collected, and label had the shape of 14 to 4, where 4 signifies arousal, balance, dominance and likeness. Finally, we took the dataset on which fast Fourier transformation was already performed, reducing the shape of the dataset to 58560, 70. Hence, we extracted 70 features from FFT transformation, thus increasing our accuracy and training the dataset faster. Now, I would like to invite Siba to continue further. Thank you.
After getting literature review, we propose the following CNN and LSTM architecture for our post-problem statement. The CNN architecture consists of three convolutional layers. Let me describe them. The first convolutional layer consists of 128 filters, 3 by 3 kernel size, ReLU activation function, followed by a batch normalization layer and a max pooling layer. The same set of layers is again repeated in the second convolution step. That is, it consists of a convolutional layer with 128 filters again, 3 by 3 kernel size, ReLU activation function, followed by a batch normalization layer and a max pooling layer. This is then followed by the third, which is the final convolution step. It consists of 64 filters, 3 by 3 kernel size, ReLU activation function, and is followed by a max pooling layer only. The flatten function is used to connect the output of the max pooling layer with the sequence of hidden layers. There are three hidden layers. The first hidden layer consists of 64 hidden units, uses tan hyperbolic activation function and 0.2 dropout rate. The second hidden layer consists of 32 units, tan hyperbolic activation function and 0.2 dropout rate again. The third hidden layer also consists of 16 hidden units, ReLU activation function and a dropout rate of 0.2. It then connects with the final, that is the output layer, which consists of 10 output units and uses softmax activation function. Coming to the LSTM architecture, we propose a stacked LSTM architecture. That is, the first layer is a bidirectional LSTM layer with 128 units and a dropout rate of 0.6. It is followed by 4 unidirectional LSTM layers, which are as follows. The first LSTM unidirectional layer after the bidirectional LSTM layer consists of 128 units, next 64 units, next 64 units and 32 units. The dropout rates are 0.6, 0.6, 0.4 and 0.4 respectively. The topmost unidirectional LSTM layer is connected to a hidden layer which consists of 16 hidden units and uses ReLU activation function. It is then connected to the output layer which consists of 10 output units and softmax activation function. We have used accuracy matrix, categorical cross entropy as the loss function, and we have used the Adam optimizer while training our model. We have used batch sizes of 256 and epochs 200. Now I would like to invite Rahul to continue with the result.
Hello, I'm Rahul Sani. I'm here to discuss about the results of our project. So we have created various models with different model architectures and also varying the train test split into different ratios. As you can see, we are getting an accuracy of 88.6% on LSTM with 75-25 split, and with CNN architecture we are getting an accuracy of 87.72% with 80-20 split as the best result. Also, we have trained all the models. We have trained both the models on all the 4 emotions individually, and we are getting an accuracy of above 80% on all the emotions. But the best results were acquired while classifying the lacking emotion. We have considered the output on a scale of 0 to 9, where 0 signifies the least likely and the 9 signifies the most likely. As you can see, we have also plotted various learning curves for our model. From the first graph, we can see it is plotted between the accuracy and the number of epochs. Both the train and test accuracy increases with the increase in the number of epochs. That is what we try to achieve. And the second graph is plotted between the loss and the number of epochs. Both the train and test loss decreases with the increase in the number of epochs. And the third graph is plotted between the test accuracy and the test loss. And all the graphs follow the pattern that I expected according to the literature. As you can see, the LSTM plots are plotted between the same variables, but there is slight change between the graphs of both the models. From the first graph, we can see the LSTM starts learning a little later than the CNN model. From the second graph, we can see the loss reaches to its minimum or stable point after around 30 epochs for CNN model, but whereas for LSTM model, it do so after 120 epochs. So these are the slight changes between the graphs of both the models. The number of epochs and the batch sizes are found after doing a lot of hypertuning, and they are taken such that it maximizes our accuracy and minimizes our model's loss. So thank you, and these are our best results.
Hello, I'm Siddhi Jain and I would like to conclude the work. The best accuracy we got was 88.6% on LSTM. This was because LSTM has the ability to record and use both long-term and short-term memory units. We used one bidirectional LSTM layer because it preserves the information from past to future as well as future to past. And we know that even our emotions have impact on how we feel later and before. The CNN also gave a good accuracy of 87.72% because of its ability to capture spatial features from the input signals. Deep learning techniques are data hungry and hence they require large data set. One of the major limitations while working with brain signals is the collection of the EEG signals, because even blinking of the eyes, muscle movement are recorded in the EEG signal, which act as a noise, and hence data pre-processing is a very important step while working with brain signals. Emotion detection system can also be used to bridge the gap between the robots and the humans, because now robots can get a more natural emotional feedback to whatever they do. Emotion detection system can also be used by therapists to better evaluate their patients, because now they will be able to get clear results from the EEG signals and they would not have to judge the patients from the facial expressions, which can be wrong. Thank you.